In a bustling city where time seems more precious than gold, Daniel, a successful entrepreneur, is faced with an unexpected challenge that shakes him to his core. It's not about money, success, or the business world he dominates, but something deeper. When an old friend, someone he hasn't seen in years, suddenly reaches out in desperation, Daniel's life takes a turn he never expected. As the clock ticks, a moral decision looms large. Will Daniel's time or money be enough to make a difference? You'll soon find out in today's story, one that reveals why the moments we give might be far more valuable than the dollars we spend. Daniel was the kind of person who always had something to do, a meeting to attend, or a problem to solve. In his mid-30s, he'd built a reputation as one of the brightest minds in the tech industry. His startup had taken off, landing him a lifestyle most people could only dream of: fancy cars, a downtown penthouse, and endless opportunities to travel. But for all his success, his schedule had become his master. He hardly had a moment to breathe, let alone think about anything outside his world of business deals and deadlines. It was late one Tuesday afternoon when Daniel's phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. He almost ignored it, but answered at the last second, his mind half in a strategy meeting and half on the call. "Daniel, it's Mike," said a shaky voice on the other end. Mike? Daniel hadn't heard that name in years. They had been college roommates back when life was simpler, and the biggest worrying was passing exams. Daniel remembered Mike as the guy who was always there with a joke, keeping things light during their late-night study sessions. But after graduation, they had drifted apart. Daniel went into tech. Mike took a less conventional route, bouncing between jobs and struggling to find his place. "I'm in trouble," Mike's voice cracked. He explained, in broken sentences, that his life had taken a dark turn. Mike had lost his job, fallen into debt, and his wife had left him, taking their daughter with her. Worst of all, Mike had been diagnosed with a serious health condition and was on the brink of losing his apartment. "I wouldn't ask if I had any other choice, but I need your help, man. Just some money to get me through," Mike said, almost in a whisper. Daniel listened, the words feeling heavy, like a weight slowly settling on his chest. He could hear the desperation in Mike's voice. Money wasn't a problem for Daniel. He could easily wire a few $1,000s without blinking, but something told him that this situation required more than just a financial bailout. Mike needed something deeper, a connection, someone to listen, someone to be present. "I'll see what I can do," Daniel said, ending the call, but not without a knot forming in his stomach. For the rest of the day, Daniel couldn't shake the conversation. A flood of memories from their college days came rushing back. Mike had been there for him during tough times. Was Daniel about to reduce their friendship to a financial transaction? Was he really too busy to lend something more valuable, his time? The next morning, instead of sending money, Daniel made a different decision. He cleared his schedule for the day and hopped on a train to the neighboring city where Mike lived. As he arrived, Mike was stunned to see him. They met at a dingy diner, Mike looking far worse than Daniel had imagined, thin, worn down, and with tired eyes that told stories of sleepless nights and endless worrying. Daniel didn't bring up the money right away. Instead, he just listened. Over coffee, Mike poured out everything: the loss of his job, his battle with depression, the endless doctor's appointments, and how isolated he had felt. Hours passed as the two sat there, reconnecting, reminiscing, and sharing the burdens Mike had been carrying alone. By the time the check came, something had shifted. Mike's shoulders seemed lighter, and there was a spark in his eyes that hadn't been there before. "You don't know how much this means to me, Daniel." "More than money ever could," Mike said quietly. Daniel nodded, realizing that giving his time had been the right decision. The next few weeks were spent helping Mike piece his life back together. Daniel connected Mike with resources, doctors, and even his own business contacts to help him find work again. They started meeting every week, just talking, no agenda. Slowly but surely, Mike's life began to stabilize. It wasn't just the practical help that made the difference. It was the fact that someone had cared enough to show up. One day, as they sat in a park, Mike said, "You could have just sent the money, but you didn't, you came." And that changed everything. In that moment, Daniel realized a profound truth. Generosity wasn't just about giving what you had in abundance. It was about giving what you sometimes felt you didn't have enough of your time. Money could solve a lot of problems, but time, attention, and genuine care had the power to heal in ways dollars never could. Thank you for joining us on this journey through today's story. It wasn't about grand gestures or financial charity, but about something far more personal and powerful, the gift of time. Daniel's decision to show up in his friend's time of need teaches us that sometimes just being there for someone can make all the difference. We often get caught up in the hustle of our lives, forgetting that our time and attention are some of the most valuable things we can offer. Remember, generosity isn't just about what you can give financially, it's about what you give from the heart.